The end of 2015 marks 4 years of me being on YouTube. And while this channel didn't begin as an archery channel, things really took off when I began covering that topic. 2 years ago, I was barely breaking 1,000 subscribers. Now we're up to nearly 15,000. That's not bad, given that I've never gone viral and I'm doing this on a very casual basis. While I'm far from being a great authority on archery, I've inadvertently built one of the largest archery communities online and it's steadily growing. I've been asked questions about what it takes to make it this far, to make it on YouTube. The first 1,000 subscribers, the first 10,000 subscribers. What did it take to create an archery network from scratch? And again, I'm not an expert on building and branding a YouTube channel, and I'm not super successful, but I've learned a few things on my YouTube journey. For those of you who are interested in doing a YouTube channel or an archery channel, or you're just curious about what sort of things I do behind the scenes, I'm sharing 5 things that I've learned about YouTube in 2015. In many ways, running a YouTube channel is like running your own business. And for some people, that literally is the case. You have to know who you are making content for. You have to know who is going to want to watch your videos. A lot of people are put off from making YouTube channels because they think, oh, everything's already done. Everything's already covered. The fact is, no, not everything is covered. And not everything is covered well. You have to find out what niche you can carve out. And it's not too late to make your own niche. I consider myself to be a late starter when it comes to archery content on the internet. Before me, there were many other channels that were covering the topic. At the time I started, the most popular video was from Howcast. And as you probably know, Howcast are notorious for making very generic, unhelpful videos. And that's because they're so broad. At the time, the big names in the search results were people like Cameron Hayes, who's a compound shooter, Jeff Kavanagh, Gray Archer, and both of them are traditional shooters. There's also performance archery. And the performance archery is a set series. They're not actually an active channel, so that was kind of different. By this point, my channel had some random stuff, some Assassin's Creed merchandise, some gaming videos, some music. But archery was something I was starting to cover. I've covered a few videos, but where I really wanted to go big was to look at where I was. I was at the stage where I had finished using my first bow, and I was looking at buying a second bow, and realized there's literally nothing out there about buying new equipment for target recurve. I know the questions are out there. I see them in real life when I go on the line, when I talk to beginners, and they want to find out about equipment. They want to find out about technique. The expertise is not there. It is there. It's there in the real world where there are clubs and there are coaches and instructors. But on the internet, there isn't that much accessible for people to easily find. It's hard because it's so spread out. It's too general. It's hard to find what you actually need. You might want target recurve specifications, but you find compound content or you find hunting content. That's one of the hard things about finding information. People say it's really easy, spend 5 minutes searching. No, it takes far longer because there are so many sources of conflicting information, many of which don't apply to you. So that was what I identified. I figured out, there's so much hunting and compound content on the internet, there's hardly anything for target recurve. I've been accused of being a snob for only shooting target recurve. If me shooting target recurve makes me a snob, okay, whatever, I don't care. I shoot recurve because that's what was offered to me. That was what the club had, that's what was given the most support for, so I picked it up and now I shoot it. I don't see the big deal about being a snob. But point being is that there are so many other channels which cover other archery topics really well. Alright, when people come and look at compound shooting and they ask me questions, I refer them to a different channel. If someone asks about traditional shooting, same thing. Look at Jeff Kavanagh. Look at Gray Archer. I didn't see a need to cover topics which other people have covered so well, and I'm not an expert in. But there wasn't much for target recurve. Hunting recurve, traditional recurve, there's stuff out there to get you started. But target recurve, there was very little, if any, when I started making content. I find it odd that it was so poorly covered online because target recurve is hugely popular. It's one of the most popular disciplines. It is apart from open compound, open target recurve is the most popular discipline. It's the Olympic discipline. So that's where I found the most need. That's where I found the most response. When I started doing archery videos, I wasn't on any online forum for archery. I did read a few threads, but I wasn't really part of any forum, and I'm still not today. When I had some initial success in making archery videos and doing reviews for equipment, someone suggested that I share my content on Reddit. Now, at the time, I was not on Reddit. I never used it. And the archery subreddit at that time was much different. It was full of newbie questions. It wasn't about having a big bank of knowledge and having links in a wiki. It was mostly people asking about how to get started. So here was a community that had a demand. They needed knowledge and expertise. And there were people there with that knowledge. But it was really hard to steer people in the right direction and the resources that were available at the time. One of the mistakes that I see some channels make is that they use social media and forums only as a way to advertise content. There's a difference between advertising and sharing content and being an active part of the community. Until you reach the point where you are well known enough for word of mouth to spread for you, you have to make the impression yourself. Taking part in discussions, sharing your experience and expertise, and generally being a friendly, knowledgeable person will get you a long way. Not only that, you learn a lot. You learn about what other people do. You learn about what people have gone through. You learn about what people want to watch. That's the most important bit. You have to build that connection with the community, because these are the people who are going to watch your content. These are the people, if they enjoy watching your content, if it's accurate and reliable, then they're going to share that content. That's great. Look, I used to have to promote my videos myself. I have to say, alright, I made a new video, what do you think? I have to go, alright, here's a question you asked, this is what I made as a response, hope this helps. And it's reached the point where people are linking videos before me. And that's great. That's the goal. Instead of me having to promote myself, now other people will go, okay, NUSensei made a video about this, here's the link. That is the ultimate goal. When people know who you are, they know your content, and they share it to other people. That's the result of being part of the community. You know the community, your content is accurate and reliable, you've built a reputation, and that's what being involved means. I can't stress enough how much word of mouth actually means. When people know who you are, they will spread your content and your reputation. Now, I actually discovered, if you do a search for archery channels on Google, you can't find me. It's kind of funny because I'm one of the more well-known archery channels, but you can't find me. And the reason is my channel name is not very obvious. It's just NUSensei. It's just my personal channel. It's not New Archery. It's not NUSensei's archery channel. It's just NUSensei. Now, if I wanted to make it really obvious and get a very high search results, I would brand my channel differently. If I would say, yeah, NUSensei archery and gaming and piano and whatever. Okay, that's not my point. My point is I don't have an obvious channel name. So if you search archery channel, you probably won't find me. If you search for particular topics, you will. but not just archery YouTube or archery channel. That's something which is a bit obscure. But I've still outgrown many channels which have a very obvious name. And part of it is good reputation. People know the brand, they know the name, so they will keep on referring the same source to other people. That's the goal. Now, other examples, again, Jeff Kavanagh, his channel name is literally his name. It's not like Jeff Kavanagh Traditional Archery, it's just Jeff Kavanagh. Or Jeff Kavanagh Outdoors. No, it's just Jeff Kavanagh. That's his name. He's still one of the most well-known traditional shooters on YouTube because he makes good content. People recommend because he's helpful. And that's what really matters. One of the biggest tips in running a successful channel is to listen to your community. The feedback drives you. One of the most frustrating things is when you spend hours putting a video together and 10 people watch it. Feedback makes you better and it gives you something to work with. However, you have to recognize that feedback can also be unhelpful, destructive, and wrong. You will get haters. You will get people who criticize your content, who will criticize your expertise, whatever. You have to pick and choose what feedback is accurate and what isn't. A short while ago, I made a video on popular archery brands, and in the video, I labeled MK Korea and Spigarelli as mid-range brands. And a lot of people pointed out, hang on, no, they're actually quite high-end. And I went, you know, you're right. It was an oversight. I made a mistake. I fixed it in the comments. So that's fine. That was feedback. It was criticism. And I went, okay, good change. I'm wrong. In fact, there's a bigger change. A video I made a long time ago about which side to place the arrow on the bow. There was a thread on Archery Talk which discussed the video. And I read through it. And the feedback was that, yeah, it was right, but the explanation was very misleading. And after thinking about it, I took the video down. There was a very popular video. A lot of people searched for it. And I took it down because it was wrong. If it's not correct, then there's no point leaving it up. I don't want to misinform people. And that's me listening to feedback. But then I get people who go on the channel and say things like, forget light poundage bows, go for the heaviest one you can use. 50 pound bow? Use it, you're fine. Practice will make perfect. No, it doesn't. That's where I draw the line. It may work for you, but I know better. I know because I work with hundreds of archers throughout the year. I work with beginners, I work with advanced shooters. I know what the average person is capable of, and it's not what you think it is. Because one person's experience in teaching themselves archery does not reflect what most people can do. That might be the exception and not the rule. And my background and knowledge and experience will back that up. I've had some people, in the last Anderson video, some people have called me a snob for not shooting traditional or not shooting something else. And look, I know I'm not a snob. People said, you're jealous because he can shoot faster than you. I don't care. I'm not competing with Lars. I'm not doing speed shooting. I don't have to argue with people who make these ignorant comments because they're not helping you. They're just trying to cut you down because, they're a fanboy. They think that that Lars is their hero. He's the most awesome shooter. And all these experts, all these archers are just, armchair experts who don't know what they're doing. I know that what I say is accurate because I've researched it, I've kept it balanced, I've kept it a fair critique. I'm not trying to push aside, I'm not trying to make myself look good, I'm not trying to blow smoke in my ass. I'm just making sure that people know that they're different sides. I don't have to prove that I'm a good shot or I'm a faster shot. I'm not going to get into that argument. And it's a waste of time. It's not right. So don't waste time on people who aren't going to help you. The biggest turning point was when I received a very lengthy criticism from someone who I respected in the community. it went through everything that I did, from the length of my videos, my viewership, my choice of topics, even my hair. And he firmly believed that what he said was right and that he was being helpful. I thought about this very seriously because this is a peer. This is someone in the community who I look up to. He has more experience and expertise than I do. So the intention was good, but was the feedback good? Was the feedback accurate and relevant? And after thinking about it, I basically discarded everything that I thought was useless. And that's basically everything. And the reason was, I get feedback from many sources. Not just one person, but from many people. The viewers, I get feedback from. I look at the comments and questions and discussions. I look at the general feedback from places like Reddit. I Google myself sometimes and find out, are people talking about me? Are people verifying what I say? Am I doing something wrong? And I have access to the analytics that YouTube offers, the data, the charts, the graphs, the diagrams. So I know what people are watching. I know how people watch. I know what people are searching for. So I have access to data that he doesn't. So the fact that I read through hundreds of comments each month and I check my data very regularly means that I have access to a perspective that he doesn't have. He is based on observation. Mine is based on a balanced perspective of multiple sources of feedback. That's just really important. So in the end, he meant well, but he doesn't see what I see. So look, YouTube channels aren't democracy. People might want to see changes, want to see things done differently, but it's your channel. It's just my channel. So I choose the direction and I know where I stand. Speaking of feedback, I make an effort to go through every single comment, every email, every question sent to my Facebook page, every time I can. I personally answer every one of them. That's a huge time sink, but that's been crucial in retaining my viewership. One, it gives you a good personal reputation, and people appreciate that. Secondly, it gives your channel a positive public image. In the seconds that it takes to load a video, any video, not mine, but any video, I normally scroll down and check the comments. This gives me an impression of how people feel about the topic and about the creator. If I see a lot of positive interaction, if I see that the channel creator is there in the discussion, speaking respectfully and positively, I get a good impression. I like that. But if they see that people engage in a flame war, and especially if the channel owner is part of the argument, that's a major turn-off. It's like going to a restaurant and seeing the kitchen staff argue amongst themselves, or if the restaurant owner is arguing with a patron. You don't want to go there. And the same with a channel. If there's hostile mood and very tense interaction, then people don't want to watch your videos. People don't want to be part of your community. People don't want to subscribe to you. I find a lot of YouTube channel operators, especially new ones, can have a very naive view of their viewers, their reputation, the way they interact with people. And I've seen some producers get very personally involved in criticizing people. It turns to a meltdown, and it's not pretty. Earlier last year, I was a little critical of another archery channel. Now, I don't normally do this. I don't normally criticize other channels. But I felt this was something which I had to say because it was pushing some boundaries. I made one comment in the video. The owner went bananas. It was incredible. I couldn't believe the drama that was happening behind the screen. It's like an episode from reality TV. It was so stupid and out of proportion, I couldn't comprehend it. For the next few days, what happened was the owner of the channel had a brain snap. He was flooding my Facebook page with comments over several threads. And I could tell he was angry because he was constantly deleting and adding posts as if he's making mistakes and adding more things to make himself look better or smarter or comfort himself. So there's this continuous alert popping up saying new post, new post, new post, new post. The same thing over and over again with a different letter or a different sentence. So it was just really crazy. Then he was using the same comments and the same editing, the same delete, edit on my YouTube video. So it's a simultaneous edit war on two fronts. Then he was sending me personal messages on my official Facebook page, but using his personal Facebook profile, he sent me a message. And he flipped out. This is what he said, uncensored. Do you know how fucking hard I try in this fucking niche? I'm fucking done. Fuck this shit. It's like the fucking harder I try, the more it fucks me over. I only said one thing. Stop spamming. And he's treating it like I ruined his entire life. If you've been following my channel, then you probably know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to link it because there's no point in resurrecting something from the past. But what the hell? Now, after that huge rage moment, he did apologize. But throughout the entire month, he kept on coming back and adding more posts on YouTube and taking jabs at me. This is someone who blatantly rode the clickbait bandwagon. Someone who stole video titles to get more views. And he's accused me of being jealous and wanting fame. I'm not going to argue. It's a waste of my time. I've stated my opinion, and I'm done. Acting like a drama queen in the comment section of someone else's channel is going to make you look like a dick. Now, I can't find that particular comment thread anymore. If it's been deleted, then great. It's terrible to have this kind of online footprint hanging around. And I'm glad he's moved on to other ventures and other focuses for his channel, and he's built quite a small following, so well done. But, oh man, all that was from a single sentence. By the way, I did 2 whole videos criticizing Lars Anderson, and he wrote to me, thanking me for my honest and sincere opinion and for explaining why people might be misinterpreting what he said. Now, if I had to choose who to promote in the future, it's not a hard choice. Something I often hear people say is how people like Lars Anderson and Dude Perfect have done a service to the community by raising awareness and getting more people into archery because of their viral videos. I have literally seen none of this. After millions of people have seen these videos, I've not come across a single person who said they started archery because of these videos. None. Not even the most commonly referenced pop culture sources like Brave or Hunger Games. Sure, they might bring a few young girls to try archery, but very few actually stay on the sport. I'm not convinced that anything significant has happened because of pop culture or viral videos. I find it fascinating that when these videos came out, and especially the Lars Anderson video, a lot of people were saying there's going to be a paradigm shift. Archery's going to change. Where's the change? Now, I'm not having another go at Lars Anderson or any alternate style of archery, but I haven't observed any change in the trends in archery. There's no dramatic increase because of these people. There's no shift in archery interest or style because of these people. People will still shoot the style they want and have fun. When it comes to growing the sport, gimmicks don't work. People aren't looking at becoming the next Lars Anderson. People are looking for something to do. Something that suits their time, their interest, their personality, their lifestyle, and if it doesn't suit their lifestyle, they don't pick it up. In fact, they leave archery. As with all viral videos, they become all but forgotten. Anyway, I hope you found these reflections interesting to say the least. If you have any questions about the YouTube side of things, I'm quite happy to take requesting questions and possibly cover them in a future video. This is NUSensei. Thank you for watching. See you next time.